Today we're going to do an exercise called pinwheel arms or arm circles. So you'll be resting on your side and moving your arms around. And this is an exercise where the value is really in just slowing down. You're going to be able to breathe deeper. You're going to be moving your ribs and your thoracic spine, which is going to help decompress even at the lumbar spine. So this whole month is about your core reset. And I'm kicking it off with pinwheel arms because your core is not just your abdominal wall, right? It's your whole trunk, this whole system here, right? But even down to your feet or your hands or your fingertips, all of that's connected into that core. So I want to use this approach to taking a moment to breathe and do some gentle restorative movement as a way to really access a deeper reset to your core. So let's come to resting on your side and talk about some things that we want to look at maybe not doing and how we can maximize the benefits of this exercise. So one thing is, if you don't feel comfortable letting your head drop all the way down to the ground, give yourself a nice like a pillow or two pillows or even a blanket that you folded up so that it's high enough for your head to rest on that it can also roll, because your head's going to be rolling back here. So I don't want you to keep your head there and you're like lifting your head off the ground. That's too much tension for this. I really want you to feel lazy, right? And the other thing is, I want you to really let your ribs and your hips really just drop into the mat. So you want to use gravity to your advantage. So you're just going to take a big breath in. And as you exhale, really feel like you sink and nestle down into the ground. There's a little bit of abdominal tone, but nothing that I want you to feel like you have to think about too much. And then the other thing I want to think about, especially as we're reaching the arm around, is to really come from your shoulder blade. So that my shoulder blade is moving and gliding on my ribs. So it's going to move up here. That's going to pull my ribs and lengthen my waist. And then as I go back, my shoulder blade is going to move towards my spine so that I'm not just distending my arm like this and tensing in my neck. I'm really going to let my whole head, ribs, even my hips move a little bit as my shoulder blade moves around. So you make it nice and fluid. So we're going to do about 3 in each direction and then we'll change sides. So again, just take a big breath in. And as you exhale, just sink and let yourself melt into the mat. You're going to inhale and slide your top arm forward on your bottom arm, tracing the fingertips along the ground as you reach overhead. And exhale as you sweep back and around. Inhaling as you reach forward beyond the bottom arm, overhead, and exhale as you circle around. Inhale, reaching forward, up, and back, and around. We're just going to reverse the direction. So you'll reach forward, sliding down. My palm is up as I reach back. My bottom ribs are dropping into the mat, so try not to lift the ribs off the mat. Just allow yourself to release and give in to gravity. Reaching forward, down, back, and around. One more like that. Reaching forward, down, back and around. And just take a second and make your way to the other side. I'm going to roll to the other side, but my back will be facing the camera. So if you still want to watch what I'm doing, if you still need to kind of get a visual, then make sure that you flip around to a side where you can still see. I'm just going to roll over so that way you can see what my shoulder blade's doing a little clearer. Taking a breath in on this side. So you might be like me, and on one side my ribs really sink into the ground, the other side not as well. So you really want to make sure you really take that moment to just breathe in. And on your exhale, sinking into the mat. So you're going to then inhale and reach forward, up. Let your bottom ribs roll in the mat as your shoulder blade comes around. Reaching forward, up, around, letting the ribs roll, even the pelvis can move, and around. Breathing forward, up, and all the way around, and then we'll reverse it. Reaching forward and back and up and around, forward and back, up and around. One more, breathing as you make these big circles, letting the ribs roll and around. Use your arms to come all the way up. And as you come to sitting, just take a second and take your hands to your ribs and take a big breath in. And notice the space you can create in those ribs, right? That movement, and that's what you want. Each little rib has a little trajectory when we inhale and when we exhale, as well as there being some movement in the belly, right? I don't want you to feel like you have to breathe only in your ribs, but that there's always this nice massage when you're breathing in and you're breathing out between the undulation of your diaphragm pushing on your belly and your ribs inflating up and down. This exercise is amazing for teaching us to just take a moment to slow down. In our 24/7 world, it's so easy to get carried away and not take any time for yourself. So you really have to make an effort to just slow down, breathe, and maybe do some arm circles, right? So this is one thing that you could do just to luxuriate in your day, luxuriate in your body, luxuriate in your breath. But I'd love to hear from you. What's one other thing that you could do this week just to make sure that you take some time for yourself? How much time can you carve out and what could you do in that time? For me, I'm going to make sure that I go for a hike. For you, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. And I'm so glad that you made time to be here today and move your body. Thank you so much. And until next time, keep moving.